Okay, let's dive into this explainer and objectively break down the exact claims, deliverables, and urgency presented in the recent Bear Claire Audio Mastery course promo. We're going to unpack exactly how they pitch their value to creators just like us. So let's get right into it.
You know, it all starts with a painfully relatable problem, doesn't it? Losing your weekends to YouTube tutorials. Look, if you've ever tried to learn a complex digital skill, you already know the absolute frustration of just scrubbing through endless, disjointed videos trying to find that one specific trick to fix your kick drum. It perfectly taps into that exhaustion we've all felt.
And they hit that pain point head on. They literally promise this ain't another YouTube tutorial rabbit hole eating up your weekends. Notice that super casual language? Yeah, that's completely intentional. It's designed to sound like a buddy who's commiserating with your frustration, right? Setting up their course as the definitive escape route from that never-ending loop. Then boom, they drop this heavy anchor of authority on us, 45. That is 45 years of combined real-world experience distilled right into the curriculum. I mean, in an era where literally anyone can just buy a mic and play expert online, they are assuring you that this is backed by nearly half a century of actual industry knowledge. That's huge.
And we're not talking about some dry classroom theory here. They break down those 45 years across the whole shebang: recording, mixing, mastering, touring, and studio work. This knowledge has been battle-tested everywhere from highly controlled acoustic studios all the way to chaotic live touring rigs. Which brings us to the core philosophical hook of the whole pitch. They say it's the real stuff you only learn by doing it. They're basically telling you there are industry secrets that you simply will not find in a manual or some free video online. It frames the course as this ultimate shortcut, letting you completely bypass decades of trial and error.
So, who is this actually for anyway? Well, the pitch explicitly calls out engineers, producers, musicians, and creators who are serious about leveling up. And that word serious is doing a lot of heavy lifting. By challenging you to identify as serious, it brilliantly frames the upcoming price tag not as an annoying cost, but as an absolutely essential investment in your craft.
Okay, so what is actually inside the course? You're getting a pretty comprehensive ecosystem here. We're talking downloadable workbooks, full video training, and lifetime access, so you can actually learn at your own pace. It's pitched as the direct antidote to that chaotic YouTube rabbit hole we talked about earlier. But I gotta say, there's one feature here that really stands out from the pack.
And that is the AI Studio Manager app. It's basically this on-demand troubleshooting guide built right into the platform. Imagine you get stuck on a tricky mix. You just ask the app and it literally walks you right to the solution. They're positioning this as your ultimate safety net, making sure you are never truly working alone in the studio again. Pretty wild, right?
Now, once you are totally sold on the value, they hit you with the why now. They introduce the founding member opportunity. And notice, they don't just call you a customer or a student, no. By offering you an exclusive seat as a founder, they make you feel like a real insider who's getting in on the ground floor.
Which brings us to the primary financial hook. You are looking at a deeply discounted initial investment of $297 pitted directly against a standard future price of $997. I mean, that is a massive $700 gap. By putting that steep future price tag right in front of your face, suddenly that $297 founding price looks like an absolute steal. And to sweeten the deal even further, they promise that getting in early unlocks future classes, tools, and apps for free, or at least at some pretty massive discounts. So all of a sudden, this isn't just a one-off purchase anymore. It feels way more like a lifelong subscription to an evolving audio toolkit, all for just one low upfront cost. But of course, buying literally anything online requires a leap of trust. So to aggressively counter any buyer hesitation you might have, they drop a totally zero-risk guarantee, a money-back promise. Yes, a real promise. They know perfectly well that you're skeptical of typical internet marketing, so they just meet that skepticism head-on with absolute confidence. But check out how specific this guarantee actually is. The benchmark isn't just, hey, did you enjoy the videos? No, it is tied directly to your output. Your mixes and masters must actually get better or you simply don't pay. It shifts the burden of proof entirely onto the course itself. You get tangible, audible results or you get your money back. Period.
Now, all of this is tied to a really strict timeline to force a quick decision. Today, right now, you lock in that $297 seat. Then, the clock starts ticking down to June 15th when the master classes officially kick off. And looking way beyond that, you secure those future discounted tools we talked about.
It gives you a crystal clear, compelling reason why you can't just, think about it for a few weeks.
And then, finally, they deploy some classic scarcity tactics. Seats are selling fast, and spots are strictly limited. It's this sharp, final warning designed to push you right off the fence and turn your passing interest into immediate action before you totally miss out on the discount and all those sweet perks.
So, what does this all mean for us? Ultimately, the promo leaves you to weigh a very bold promise against a specific price tag. Is the guarantee of real results you can hear, results backed by 45 years of experience and a literal AI manager, worth a $297 leap of faith? Or are you comfortable continuing that frustrating weekend search completely on your own? Well, that's the real question you have to answer. Thanks for tuning into this explainer, and we'll catch you next time.